Hello everyone, you're welcome to another tutorial. Today I'll be using organza material for this design. So I'm going to be using 2 yards of this organza because the bust of the owner is about 54 inches. The bust is 54 inches. So I'll be using 2 yards. But if you're not up to that, you can use 1.5 yards. I've gone ahead to fold this into 4. I folded it into 2. This is the selvage. So I folded this into 2 at first, then I folded it again to make it 4. So I'll be using the full length of the organza. If you are not as tall, you can measure your length and cut it short. So I like to pin this organza because it moves easily. I'll be using 3 inches as my neck width. Then for the neck depth of the back, I'll be using 2 inches for the neck depth of the back. Then I'll curve it. I'll go ahead and cut it. For the neck depth of the front, I'll be using about 7 inches. Then I'll make it a V. I won't cut it yet. I will separate the two before I cut it. Then for the side, I'm going to trim off the excess by the side. So by the side, I can comfortably have 16 inches. So 16 inches will give me about 64 inches, which is wide enough. So I'll measure the 16 inches all the way down so I can trim the side. I'm going to trim the side, the 16 inches I measured. I'm going to measure 1 inch here and connect it to the neck width, then slant my shoulder. After slanting the shoulder, I'm going to measure my sleeve opening where I want the hand to come out. So I'm going to be dividing the round armhole, the armhole, I'll divide it into 2. So the armhole of this person is 24 inches. Divided into 2 is 12 inches. I'm going to notch the 12 inches. I won't be adding any sewing allowance to the 12 inches because that 12 inches is already wide enough for the hand to pass through. I'm using ½ inch to sew the shoulder and I'll be using 1 inch to sew the side. So I can notch this about 1 inch, almost 1 inch, like 0.75 inches. About 0.75 inches. That is what I'll notch. So after I've sewn 1 inch by the side, from this notch now, I'll sew 1 inch all the way down. After sewing it, if I need to notch more, I'll notch more so that I can use it to tidy the hem of the sleeve. I'll be using half inch by half inch to tidy the edge of the sleeve. So I'm done with this. So it's time to cut the fabric for the front part of the gown. So this is about 1 yard of fabric, and because this has this V design, and because it has a V design, so I want to work with the V design. So I'll be folding it at the center there. Then I'll be using the shoulder to waist measurement. Shoulder to waist for this person that her bust is 54 inches, is around 24 inches. So I don't want to start from the top. I want to start from here because of the V design. I want to have that V design. So if your bust is not up to 54, you can use around 20 inches or 21, depending on your measurement. So after getting my 24, which is from here to here, sorry, my chalk is not showing. Bear with me, just follow the measurement. So like I said, I'll be using 24 as the length. Then I'll be using the shoulder measurement here. So the shoulder of this person is 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. So 8.5 plus half inch seam allowance to fold the edges. So I'll be using 9 inches. Down here, instead of using 9 inches, I'll reduce my 9 inches because the design is not as wide here, it's slanted here. So it's almost like a bucket design. So instead of 9 inches, I'll be using about 6 inches here. Then I'll connect it. So I want to add half inch up here and half inch down here for my seam allowance. Then I'm going to cut this out. So up here, I'm going to get my neckline. My neck width is 3 inches. Same thing as I used for the organza. While my neck depth is 7 inches. You can adjust yours to whatever you want. So I'm going to be cutting this out. This is what I have. So I'm going to separate this. Remember, I only cut the back neckline. I'm going to remove all the pins and separate it. Then I will use this to get the neckline for the front. So the right side of this material will be facing the wrong side of this organza. So that's where I'm going to sew it. This is the wrong side of the organza, while this is the right side. So the material, the right side of the material, normally we do right side to right side when sewing, but in this case, for it to come out right, the right side of the fabric will be on the wrong side of the organza. This is the wrong side of the organza, so this will be on it. Then I'm going to sew my V by half an inch, and then I'll turn it out. Then the neckline of the back, I'm going to tidy it also. This neckline of the back, I'm going to tidy it. So I'll take about quarter of an inch or 2.25 inch. Then I'll just fold it very small. I'll fold it twice and sew it down. Or I can use bias to tidy. But if I'm using bias, when sewing the bias, you have to use half inch, because the front, we're using half inch to sew this V at the front. So you need to take out half inch on the neckline of the back too. So I'm going to tidy the front and the back neckline. So this is the back neckline. I'm done with the back neckline and the front neckline. So this is the front. I'm going to turn it over. I've gone ahead to give it a notch where I have my V. So remember to give it a notch there so that it will be easy when you turn it. Then I'm not putting interfacing. I'm not putting any stay or any interlining or anything on this because this fabric is quite thick. So if you want, you can put interfacing on yours. You can put stay, gum stay, or stay, anyone you want. You can put it there to give it a bit of structure and to make it stand well. It's very necessary. So this is my front. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold the edge. You can use your iron to fold it to make it easy. So I'm going to fold the edge, and then I'm going to sew it down here. I'm also going to fold the edge down here, half inch by the side I'm going to fold half inch also. So half inch all the way round. Then up here, if this fabric is coming out, if it's above the organza material, it's fine. You know, we slanted the shoulder of the organza material, so but we didn't slant this one. So if it's coming out up here, it's fine, it's okay. You can go ahead and trim it. But before you trim it, make sure you have sewn your edges down. But for me, I will try and balance it with this. I don't think I want to trim it. I will try and see if I can balance it with this, and then I'll sew this down. I'm going to try to get the center of the organza. I already know the center of this because of the fold here, because of the crease. So because this organza moves about, I'm going to pin this down around here. I'm done with the front. Now I'm going to place the back on it, right sides facing each other. Then I'm going to sew the shoulder. I'll join the two shoulders together. So concerning the neck width I used, if you want yours to be wider so that your head can pass through, so depending on the hairstyle you have made, so you might want to make it wider. Instead of using 3 inches, you can use 3.5. Then your neck depth for the front can be longer. So depending on how you want it, if you want it wider, it's fine. But this one will still pass through the head. So like I said, I'm going to join the two shoulders. After joining the shoulder, I'm going to join the side. Remember the notch I made by the side for the opening of the sleeve. So from that notch, I'm going to go in by 1 inch. My side seam allowance will be 1 inch, like I mentioned earlier. So I'll sew 1 inch all the way down for both sides. I'm done sewing the two sides and the shoulder. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase this notch just a little bit more so that I can fold it half by half comfortably without any issue. So on the other side too, I will increase my notch just a little bit close to this line that I've sewn, this 1 inch that I've sewn. So that will make it easy for me to fold the opening of the sleeve. Then for the hem of the dress, I'm going to cut strip of this fabric and I'm going to sew it on the edge about 1 inch. So I'm going to sew about 1 inch of this fabric on the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. Then for the shoulder, I'm going to sew another strip. When I sew another strip, I'll place it on the shoulder here. So that's all for this dress.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and click the notification bell. Thank you.